Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to a Canadian moment. This is, I decided to do two videos today because there's a lot going on. I know, to be honest, if you're like, hey, two videos today, well, good for you because you haven't made any videos over the last 4 days. I'm making videos because I think it's important to be completely honest. There wasn't a lot that I felt like it was important to talk about for the last 4 days. So that's why I was a little bit quiet. If people like who I am and want to get more of me, you can certainly reach me on mixer.com/like-my-Freddy. I broadcast a lot. These are just uploaded from Mixer. This is what I'm doing. I'm broadcasting this video game, and I'm uploading it, and then I download it to my computer, and then I upload it on YouTube. So yeah, you can go straight to my account, and you can catch me there. You can talk to me live. I do live streaming and stuff like that. I try to pay attention to my chat, but I'm not always the best at it, you know. But yeah, you can certainly find me there if you want more of me. If it turns out that I'm generating a lot of traffic, I might just start uploading shorter versions of all my videos. I might do a daily thing, you know. But so far, it doesn't seem like anybody's that interested in who I am, but more interested in what I have to say, and I'm quite happy with that, because with anybody's interested in what I have to say, that's the goal. It's what I'm trying to say that I want to get out there. And not because I'm saying it. Like I said, if it was about that, then I probably would put up my cell phone on my face and say, look at me and my pretty long locks. Check out my fancy ideas. I don't consider myself to be a rocket scientist, to be honest. I don't even think I'm that particularly smart. I know what smart people look like and I know what smart people can do, and I haven't done any of that. But what I can tell you is that there are things going on in our country, and our news isn't telling us about it. And so when I make these videos, it's to talk about the stuff that you're not going to get on the news. In fact, I was just talking to one of the guys I work with today about this, and I was talking about the fact that I'm going to get into it today. The stuff I'm talking about in this video today, I was talking about this at work, and one of the guys said at work, if this is happening, why haven't we heard about this in the news? On any news stations whatsoever, why haven't I heard about this? The reason being is because it's not on your news stations. The reason being is because the media doesn't want to talk about this. They're paid not to talk about this. I mean, look it up yourself. Justin Trudeau owns most of the CBC. And I don't mean, I'm sorry, he doesn't own most of the CBC. So it's share-based, right? He bought shares in the CBC. And that's our Canadian Broadcasting, CBS, sorry, Canadian Broadcasting Systems, which is governed by the CBC. And he has 59% shares. The Trudeaus have 59% shares in the CBC. That means that he can push certain narratives on the CBC. He can get certain people hired to the CBC. It means that when you're watching your television CBS shows or your CTV shows, the people who are giving you your news, he can hire their bosses, essentially. So the problem with cable access television or any of the news that you get like that, the people you're watching on the television are reading off of a prompter that they didn't have any part of themselves. For example, if you watch the Ben Shapiro show, Ben Shapiro himself is who is talking to you. He owns Daily Wire. He owns the majority shares. He's hired the people that talk on the Daily Wire. Same with Ezra Levant and the Rebel Media. When I'm watching these things, I want to watch Ben Shapiro or Ezra Levant because I know that's where the money is. So if they're going to try to manipulate information, it's going to be easier to see from them. For example, Ezra Levant has been talking about how Rachel Notley has been cracking down on the Rebel Media because Rebel Media is being honest about what she's been doing in politics. And what she's been doing in politics could be arguably illegal. Now, I don't like the fact that Ezra Levant is part of the news. He makes himself a part of the news too much for my comfort. But I can't argue with, because I've looked it up. He said, this is happening. You can look it up. I said, okay. I looked it up. And guess what? Rachel Notley's trying to sue Rebel Media and claim they're not journalists because they say things that she doesn't agree with. And those things are against her, actually. This all spurred because of a campaign that the Rebel Media started that was to get somebody from her staff fired. It was Rachel Notley, fire this person. And it was because the person they were trying to get fired, it seemed, was doing things that were illegal. It was a fair reason to get them fired. And they were trying to get Rachel Notley to pay attention to the fact that they see something crooked here. Now, instead of meeting that demand head on, like let's say, devil's advocate, rebel media is either lying or they don't know what they're talking about. Let's just say that. Instead of Rachel Notley fighting the rebel media on that and campaigning, which would be the Canadian way, against the journalism of the rebel media, saying that somebody under her employ is doing something illegal, she should have campaigned against that. She should have brought them to court where they could have fought against it. Instead, she subpoenaed them and it's her court systems, her Alberta court systems. She's had them find the rebel media. Find them, not find, fine. She's applied a fine to them. They are being charged for their journalistic opinions based off of evidence that they show in all their videos. Look at the videos, you can see it for yourself. They highlight all the evidence. You can look it up. They lay out the groundwork. You can follow the paths they took. It's like a scientific method. They're just showing you what's there. Rachel Notley didn't like that. So she's used her government our government, to attack a journalistic enterprise. And she's trying to currently destroy them over this. Currently. That's what she's doing. So this is not something I support. It just shows you how corrupt our media can be. Our media doesn't tell us the truth. You don't hear anything like this from anything like CTV, CBS, even YTV doesn't tell you this. None of this you'll get on the National Post because they don't want to talk about that because they took the $595 million buyout from Justin Trudeau. Literally, Justin Trudeau used our government to give a $595 million buyout to companies like the National Post. Well, he didn't say you have to print what I want you to print, of course. But I'm pretty sure everybody was able to figure out what was going on there. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. But I've spent 7 minutes talking about this, going on a tangent and a little bit of a rant, because there's a lot of things that upset me in this country. I've already talked about this actually before, I believe. If not, now I have. But the reason why I wanted to start this was because I was watching a video with Faith Goldie. She ran for mayor in Toronto. Before that, she was a journalist that broke a lot of very interesting stories, like, for example, the white African farmer massacre. She was in Africa when that started. She was filming. It's pretty gross. You can look up Faith Goldie filming what was going on in Africa with the white farmers. It's disgusting. And it's being skewed by the government in Africa. They don't want people out here to be honest about what's going on there because they're doing things that we would find immoral. It's involving children and babies. It's involving anybody who's white. It's involving the white workers who are black. I mean, the white farmers, they're workers. Essentially, they gave their workers, they tried to teach their workers how to run the farms. They tried to give they knew that they were going to be killed for owning the land. They were trying to essentially, here, keep the farms running. We're going to try to find a way out. If we can't get out, at least just feed yourselves is basically what they were trying to do. Well, those black workers were also killed for working for white people because this is a racist attack. And it's genocide. Nobody wants to be honest about it. Faith Goldie's the person that broke that story 2.5 years ago. Well, now she broke a story where she went to Quebec. And I'm going to put again, I'm really bad at memorizing stuff. I'm going to try to make sure I remember to put the link. If I don't remember to put the link, you guys message me. I'm on YouTube. I will see the message. You're like, hey, what about the link? I'll update and I'll do an edit and I'll get that link in there because I do want people to see what I'm talking about. This is not BS. This is real. We need to be aware that we're being used and we're being joked on. So basically, Faith Goldie went to one of the border towns in Quebec, the ones that are border with the United States, and she's trying to cover the mass immigration, illegal immigration over that's crossing the border from the United States. And what she found was this small Quebecois town is being paid $25,000 per resident that supports the illegal immigration across the border. Not legal immigration. They're supporting immigrants walking across the Quebecois American border without identifying themselves, which is illegal. It's illegal in America. It's illegal in Canada. these Quebecois are supporting the illegal immigrants, and they're being paid to do it. And by supporting, if you watch this video, you'll see they got nice banners up. Welcome, we make bridges, not walls. Well, that's a pretty nice talking point from the United States. I don't know why Quebecois are so focused on that talking point, but yes, they are focused on your talking points from the United States. Your garbage in the United States is bleeding into Canada, and Canadians don't have the same rights you do, so we can't get it out. We can't make it stop because we don't have the right. And it's coming over here because you guys won't crack down on your borders and your border policies. This is like what's going on from Honduras to America. Mexico didn't stop the illegal migrants that are going into America. Mexico didn't stop that. Not until it started hurting Mexico. America's not stopping the migrants that are leaving America and coming to Canada. They're not. Yeah, knock yourselves out. Free country. Go ahead. And we're letting them in. We don't want to strengthen our borders. The Americans don't want to stop the illegal immigration. I don't know what to do, boys and girls. This is a tough position to put people into, you know. We're hungry and we're poor. We're fighting for work. And we're moving people, mass immigration into our country. And why is this happening? Why are we all hungry and poor right now? When, coincidentally, this is when we open up all our borders and have the most amount of migrants that this country's ever seen ever. Ever. We have seen a ridiculous amount of migrants come into our country. This is gonna cause our economy to crash. It's gonna become unstable and it's gonna fall apart. And the people who are gonna get hurt are people like me. And that's most Canadians. We don't have a huge tech industry that we can bounce off of and survive from. We don't have what you guys have in the United States. We just have us. This is gonna hurt us, and it's gonna hurt us bad. And Canadians need to stop it themselves, because nobody's gonna do this for us. Please, recognize that you're Canadian, East and West, black and white, First Nations or Euro. We're all Canadians here. We fought for our independence. We demanded it. It's about time we all lived with what we fought for. We can't undo what we've done. We can't send 3 million immigrants back. They're in our country now. We've got to stop this nonsense. We've got to do our best to make a home for these people. We've got to be Canadian. So, good luck, everybody. We're all in this together. Keep your stick on the ice. And if you like this video, or it's a tough video, right? I don't say likable things. These are tough things I talk about. So even if you don't like the video, but you believe this is something that has to get out there, you believe people need to know about this, give that a thumbs up and a subscribe. From what I'm told, it gets the video out there more. People see it more. If there's subscriptions and likes and crap like that, the more traffic, the better. So let's get this information out there, because a lot of people, we need to get this out there, you know? A lot of people need to know this. They need to know this. They need to dig it. They need to find out the truth. They need to expose the lies. So, yeah, keep your stick on the ice. Good luck, my brothers and sisters. And I'll chat to you later.